All right. How's it going tonight, everyone? Welcome. Happy Monday. Hope your week's off to a good start. We got a whole lot of stuff to get into, so we're gonna just jump right in. But how's it going, Ubuntu and Sick Mofo? Welcome. How are you both? Hope everyone's doing well. So I went on a tear last night, and Ivanhoe and QLogic were kind enough to go through and sort through that tear. So you can see there is a shit ton of stuff that needs to be merged. Cool. Also, the bot's doing announcements again. So, yep, there's some stuff in there you'll see, including, hey, if your place of employment is looking for senior software developers or DevOps / SREs, let me know. Because the place I've been contracting for wants to cut my hours. And I can't really afford a cut. So, I need to get something else going here real quick. So, yeah. But I threw some other stuff in the announcements too, so it doesn't just spam that. So, all right. Anyways, so the first thing is we started this on Thursday. It started growing out of control over the weekend. It grew more and more out of control, and then I kept dialing it back and all this other stuff. But so this makes Purple Core a G object. And I simplify what it's doing to just basically handle what it's doing, and we still hit a ton of files, and you can tell there's a lot of rewritten. And then everything else is updates for this, and we've got more to go on top of this yet. But we're going to grind through this real quick and get this all merged and go from there. So, without any further ado, as you pull my ZU default. Oh. I had to reboot before the stream because, I don't know, OBS didn't want to, none of the mic or desktop audio, nothing wanted to work, so I had to restart and lost my keys. Do I have unit tests? What is that, G object? So Pidgin is based, Pidgin uses the library called glib, which is the library at the very bottom of the GNOME stack. So you've got, the GNOME desktop manager, the GNOME shell, that's what it's called now. That's built on top of GTK and a whole bunch of other stuff, and GTK is built on top of glib. So glib, whatever, gtk.org. There's more here, stuff like that. So this is all written in C. C does not have object-oriented programming or any sort of polymorphism, and no language, semantics, or anything for it. G object is a type system with polymorphism in C using composition. So that's what a G object is. Do I have unit tests? We're up to 174 different suites now, which is a lot better than the one we had in Pidgin 2. But yeah, we have an ass ton of them, and we're trying to get more and more. Running the dev potentially know about something. I don't really have. I don't have my resume online anywhere. But I mean, Ansible, Salt, Kubernetes, Docker. We have. Here's the Ansible that we use. This would probably make more sense for people. Here's all the Ansible stuff we use for Pidgin. Here's all the Kubernetes stuff that we use for Pidgin. Oh, that's not it. What the hell did I name this thing? I thought it was Kate's cluster. Oh, I did Ansible. Kate's cluster. Right, and this is all set up and managed by me. And this is all stuff I built and whatever. Like, you can look through the commit logs if you want, right? Here's changelog. Although I probably haven't updated much of this as much as I should. I got a bunch of stuff that's uncommitted and stuff. But that's just a rough idea. But yeah. But yeah. The preview thing, yeah, that is the output of a tool called Gorse. It visualizes your version control history. It goes from there. So for Pidgin, we run on Doc's DigitalOcean Kubernetes service, which is managed Kubernetes. It's single master. It's mostly so I don't have to deal with the management. Locally here at home, I have a 4-node. Three node. I've been swapping nodes out. and just moving to VMs because Kubernetes is kind of overblown for me here. I'm a little behind too. I haven't updated this in a minute, but I run a 3-node now cluster at home as well using Talos. So yeah. You've been using Heroku since we started 9 years ago, and we might be thinking about moving away from it, probably just to AWS. Heroku's just using AWS anyways, yeah. Need someone to help with that? Nothing to cite. Gotcha. Yeah, I've actually never used Heroku. I know there's open source things out there that are like it, but that could be, you know, a way to go. Then again, I don't have a whole lot of experience with the AWS either. Most of my experience there has been just controlling stuff via Terraform. But you know, mostly just spinning up EC2 instances and making them run shit, or using EKS to run a Kubernetes cluster. Yeah, and you know, once it's to that point, it's not really, it doesn't matter that it's AWS anymore, right? It's like, oh, yep, I just spun up an EC2 instance. That's another Debian machine that I'm controlling with Ansible or Salt or, right? It's just whatever. So. But if you're just doing like push deployment stuff, you might just even want to look at something like Garage or Minio or something like that, where you can just, you know, push the static site and be done. Although, unless you're not static, then that's obviously not going to work. But yeah. So, all right. Anyways, we're merging 4438. Make sure there's nothing here. We're at the head, RBT land. Mine's our 4438, right? 4438. This morning we have a fix for, I've got to pull the release and stuff like that. We're going to do that when we're done with a bunch of this stuff, but get there when we get there. Yeah, so Minio is an S3 like thing. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. There's also another one called Garage. What you do is all of these you can create a quote unquote website and it'll just serve everything from a public bucket. So that way, like if you have a static site, instead of uploading it to something and dealing with a virtual host config, well, I mean, you can still use the virtual host config and all that, but you can use all the S3 deployment stuff that's built into stuff like, Hugo and what's the other one everybody uses? Whatever. Like if you're doing static site stuff like that, it makes it real easy. That, or you know, if you're in an S3 config, whatever, you can just use that too. And sorry, I forgot to give you the link. You already use S3 for static sites and SPA bundles. We use Heroku mainly for the. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So like I said, I've never used Heroku, so depends on what you're using it for. So. And I don't know, because I've never used Heroku. So, ooh, all right. All right. We were merging that. We ran the unit test. Unit test passed. Sweet. All right. First one in this chain is done. On to the next one. And clean up my branches as we go. All right, make core an object. Okay. Next up, 4439, rename the file. Or files, rather. So we're trying to get some last minute cleanup in here before the alpha. But I really need to work on game. Running out of time on that one. I wanted to have something to show for it when we announce it to everybody. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But either way, this is all stuff that... So, for a long time, I've known we were going to move the core object to a G object, and I just hadn't done it, hadn't looked at it, whatever. And like, as we started messing with it on Thursday, it was like, oh, there's all this other stuff we should be doing here and that. Game. G-A-I-M. Do I have a trigger for this? Okay, that's a joke, but, so, Pidgin, which is what we work on here, used to be known by the name of Game until we got sued by AOL for trademark infringement. That's when we changed the name to Game, or to Pidgin in 2007. Jesus, fuck. Goodest aim. No, what? No. AOL owned AOL Instant Messenger, aka AIM, A-I-M. They trademarked AIM. We were named Game. They sued us for infringement of their trademark because we had a competing chat client that had the name of their chat client in our name. We drowned the turtles, right? It's not a reach. It's how trademark law works in the United States. If they wanted to keep their trademark, they had to fight us for it. It's just how it works. I'm just going to mute this for now because he doesn't listen. All right, next one done. But anyways, this is all old news, right? That happened 19 years ago. So it doesn't matter if you think it's a reach or not. It happened 19 years ago. It doesn't matter anymore. What does matter now is AOL's trademark has expired, so we are launching a new Purple 3 front end that looks like Pidgin 2 and Game before it, and naming it Game because the trademark's gone. It's expired. All right, next up, 4440. Yep. Yeah, so this is all just cleaning up this old ass code that was probably originally written this way in like 2000. So like 26-year-old code that just has not been cleaned up in a very, very, very long time. So this is just grinding through all of this and going through there. Oh, I didn't mean to do a new tab. I just wanted to go to the next one. The last one, it just starts up the scheduler subsystem, and we're trying to standardize the way that gets done now, because they were not standardized. Scheduler modernize. All right, I suppose we can look at this a little bit more. So update notification manager, standard startup implementation. It's the same deal. Basically, the main difference is, so there were no parameters going into the startup function. Now there is the purple core instance and the G error. We're not using any of it yet. Doesn't matter. It's fine. And it also returns the manager that should be used. Easy peasy. Everything else is just support for that. So, right. It's like 80 years ago. What originally got me into coding? I'm not quite 80 yet, but I am in my mid 40s. So when I was 7 in 1989 and played Super Mario Brothers for the very first time, I went, I want to make video games. So obviously at 7, I didn't know any idea what the fuck I was doing, let alone in the 80s. In the 90s, I started tinkering with programming on an Apple IIe. With basic and stuff like that, and started messing around with stuff. Didn't really have any idea what I was doing, shit like that, right? But as I became a teenager, I learned basic, QBasic, one-click scripting for Mac, C++, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And me and a friend were trying to build video games. It turns out building video games in the 90s was fucking impossible, at least for a small team. I'm not impossible, but beyond our means. So then I started building applications, and I just stuck with that. Because it's like games, you put a bunch of stuff together and then you put it out there and then you're basically done with it, right? And like, oh, well, it got what I wanted, kind of, sort of, maybe not, right? And you just, yeah, it's a lot of, write a lot of code, make some money, and then never look at it again. Whereas I would rather build and develop something till it can't be improved anymore, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it all started because I wanted to make video games. And now I barely even play video games. Yep, the applications are never finished. I mean, some of them can be, but not in Pidgin's case. Notification manager, right? Yeah. All right, 4442. Oh, because I typed commander. Whoops. Well, glad to know that doesn't work. Where's that timers? Edit. Command. So that was supposed to do this. Whoops. So what happens when you just turn something on and do literally zero testing? Speaking of, we could do at least run Pidgin here. How to get hooked up with Pidgin and become the main admin dev for it. So back in the day, when you would run Windows, if you wanted your machine to keep running decently, you would have to do a full clean wipe of Windows about every 6 months. This included up until XP. I don't know about Vista because in like June of 2003, I was at one of those points, but I had been using Linux on servers and doing a bunch of stuff like that for a while. And I just heard about this new thing, or new to me thing called Knoppix, Knoppix, which was the first live Linux distribution, which meant you could boot Linux off of a CD and not touch the files on your hard drives. And I was like, all right, well, let me see if the hardware in my machine will work, right? So at the time I was running a Pentium 4 1.5 gigahertz, I think, with, fuck, was it 256 megs of RAM? I think so, something like that. So anyways, I ran Knoppix and everything ran. So I'm like, well, shit, let's give Linux a try. So I don't remember what I used for a default window manager back then. Who knows? I think it was KDE. I think I started KDE 2 and then I went right to KDE 3. So that should give you an idea of the timeline. KDE 3 was brand spanking new. Anyways, at the time I was using AIM primarily to talk to a lot of my friends. So when I moved to Linux, I had to find a client that would talk to AIM. So I ended up settling on Game. I wrote a plugin called Gooifications, which I don't think we have. Yeah, I don't have any screenshots or anything around, but I wrote a plugin to do the little toaster pop-ups. That would say like, so-and-so is online, so-and-so signed off, so-and-so messaged you, blah, 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 right? All that crap. And that became a pretty big and popular plugin. But obviously, you know, as you start working on a plugin and maintaining it and stuff like that, and you start using Pidgin and stuff all the time, or any application, I mean, it's still game at that time. You know, you find bugs, and if you can fix them, you fix them, right? So I started fixing them, stuff like that. So that was 2003. By 2004, I got developer status, I think. Ah, shit, I gotta go look at the timeline. I don't remember exactly. I think I wrote this down somewhere, but I don't remember where. But somewhere around there, I ended up getting developer status. And then, you know, I just contributed to the project for a while, stuff like that. In the late 2000s, I had pushed for a big change that was to use G-objects everywhere in libpurple. Libpurple is the library that underpins Pidgin, Adium, Finch, a whole bunch of other stuff. And the idea there was to try to make everything work better, more stable, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, so like we got into this scenario where, because we have libpurple, which has to have API guarantees and ABI guarantees, we just started stacking up stuff to put into Pidgin 3. And the problem was, there was like, we never stopped trying to put stuff in Pidgin 3, and we kept getting more and more half-finished stuff in Pidgin 3, to the point where it was just, the project ended up stalling. Even I was on hiatus for a while because of a number of issues, stuff like that. And like 2011, 2012 or so, I was still working on stuff that was going to be used in Pidgin, but I wasn't really spending a whole lot of time working on Pidgin. So anyways, years go by. And as we get to 2016, or the end of 2015, actually, I start to realize that, oh, Pidgin's only doing about one release a year. We're not doing much better right now. That's another story. Well, it's a different story. And, you know, I started realizing that, oh, hey, part of the reason the project is so, yeah, Pidgin 3 has been a concept for like 15 years, which is why any release of it is amazing. And when people are like, oh, well, it's not even ready for users yet. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I've spent 10 years dedicated to getting this thing out the door. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so at the end of 2015, I started to feel guilty that some of the things I pushed for with geobjectification and stuff are part of what brought the project to a standstill. That was part of it. There's a lot more to it, stuff like that. So anyways, in December of 2015, I started lobbying to take over the project. Everyone agreed. I was motivated. Let's go. So in 2016, I became the lead developer, and we have been busting our asses on this thing ever since. And in, what's the counter say? 14 days, 23 hours, 5 minutes, and 22 seconds, we will be pushing Pidgin 3.0 Alpha 1. It will be the 6th Pidgin 3 release, but it'll be the first non-experimental release. If you want to know what I mean by experimental, alpha, blah, 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 the quick rundown is, experimental means absolutely no guarantee, API guarantees. Alpha means protocol stuff is probably okay, but we might do some tinkering. Beta means the UI, APIs are probably okay, but we might do some tinkering. Release candidate means we're probably not going to change anything else API wise. And then general release, whatever, means APIs are locked. But there is a blog post, or not, whatever, an article I wrote describing all of this as well. Also, welcome other over here on YouTube. Sorry, I didn't see your messages at first. You've used what, and you can't fix any? For 17 years, yeah. And I'm hoping you mean the please explain is about the development phases. Also, I'm dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so if you hear me talking to somebody who hasn't actually said anything in chat, that's what's going on. But yeah. All right, so we landed this. We didn't build it yet. So 4422, this was notification manager. No, protocol manager, same deal. Woo! Thank you, Polyhedron, for the 40 bits. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. But yeah, when people make comments like, "Oh, bro, do you even have unit test?" and it's like I've literally dedicated myself to getting this release out for 10 years, even though I've been working on the project for 23 years, and someone's being dismissive. It's annoying as shit. Like, bro, can't you even read? Fuck. All right, next up, 4430 or 4443. After we clean this up. But yeah, I do have a blog post too on what's taking so long with Pidgin 3, which is probably out of date at this point. I really need to clean up this dev.2 blog too, and move this stuff around. Most of this is going to end up in Discourse. I just haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, some of the other reasons why Pidgin 3 took so long is we haven't done well at refreshing contributors. So the people that were around when Pidgin was really active up until like 06, 07, 08, even up to 2010, we haven't had a lot of newcomers come in and replace people that have lifed out. But what I mean by lifed out is a lot of people get involved in open source when they're in school and stuff like that because, you know, they've got free time. But then, you know, you get your first tech job, you find a significant other, maybe you have kids, or you find other hobbies, stuff like that, right? And then you just don't have time for open source anymore, right? It is what it is, right? Like, and since we haven't replaced people that have lifed out like that, the project just, you know, slowed down. And another part of that too is our code base was never the easiest to grasp. I've had a lot of people tell me that they thought the code was well organized and stuff, and I was like, what code were you looking at? Because I would disagree with that, but okay, maybe you've just really looked at really shitty code. I don't know, right? But one of the things we're really trying to do with Pidgin 3 is we are trying to make the code ridiculously clean, easy to understand, and following other standards and conventions for other stuff like glib-based libraries. So at the very least, if somebody knows a glib-based library, they're able to pretty much reason about our code base regardless. And I'm hoping that will help. Also, with as much shitification is happening with all the proprietary protocols, I'm hoping that's going to be a big boon for us too. But we got to get Pidgin 3 out for that to happen. And we're trying. What are you doing, man? He did mess up the curtain. But yeah, so, you know, there's always work to do. Again, this is all just a ton of cleanup stuff. So like I said, a lot of this code hasn't been touched in a very long time. All right, next up, 4444, idle manager. Also, I've got to clean up more of the build agents. They're kind of in a bad state right now. We bumped the libed-wada dependency a while ago, and a bunch of the distros don't have it yet. We're unreleased. We can do what we want. Let's fix the screen. But yeah, another one of the things that we got into trouble with Pidgin 2 was there was one developer that was trying to make sure that we stayed compatible with GTK 2.0 because it was in Red Hat 9 and not Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Red Hat 9. Before RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, before Fedora Core, there was Red Hat Linux. and 9 was the last release. The next release after that was Fedora Core 1, which later got renamed to Fedora. And like trying to keep things compatible with that, just it was a pain in the ass, and nobody liked to work on anything in the UI then because you got locked down to that version and it sucked ass. Did I push? So that's yet another reason, right? Like I said, there's all sorts of reasons, and you can blame some people for some stuff, some people for other stuff. It's really a group effort on why the project got stalled. But yeah, so 10 years ago, I took over to try to right the ship, and we're getting there. I'd say if we're trying to turn around the ship, we're maybe halfway there, right? 90 degrees turned. And we still got a lot of work to do. Hopefully a lot of this will start going faster though, but we'll see. All right, next should be command manager. How's it going, Matt? Welcome. How are you? I was gonna respond however I was supposed to respond, but I'm like, I guess ahoy? Is that how I should respond? I don't know. My pirate lingo isn't, or just I guess seafaring lingo isn't all that up to speed. But yeah, so I just started grinding through all this last night. I spent all day yesterday trying to finish the damn core object pull request. And then like I finally finished it at 1 in the morning, and then I just started grinding through everything else until like 4:30 in the morning. I was like, I should really be going to bed, but I'm making progress. I need to get through all these so they can review it in the morning so that when I get to stream, I can just merge everything and move on to the next step. Oh. Huh. Might be funny. I don't know why I never thought of this before, but it might be funny to have the Team City build results get pushed out to stream while I'm streaming. Although there's 14 or 15 builds for every commit, that's probably too much. Unused headers and core. Yeah, sorry. So like other stuff, like, oh hey, here's a bunch of header files we're including that we didn't need anymore. And like we just put, so there was a purple credential manager here, right? We didn't need it here, but we did need it here. Pull request. $44.46, $44.46. Yeah, I also have another, like I said, the original core header object or core object pull request was getting too big, and I had to keep whittling it down because it was getting too big. So I have another whole nother pull request, not completely done, but mostly done. That's just stashed here. That I just need to rebase and go once everything's merged. But it depends on all of this. But yeah, incremental steps all the way. But yeah, then again, since like usually I would try to get this done during the day before the stream and stuff, because otherwise I just sit here and I've got to make small talk as I'm doing it. But I found out earlier today that my client's going to start cutting my hours next month. So I'm just like, oh, spent all day updating the resume. and doing that whole fun song and dance. Because basically, I can't afford them to cut my hours, so it is what it is. All right, badge manager, standard, startup implementation. Is this right? Yeah, this is 440. Okay, so that depends on 446. Did I not close one of these? Because one of those are still up. No, okay, that's fine. Okay, so 447. Badge manager. 4447. 4447. But to be clear, that's the day job that helps me pay the bills so I can work on Pidgin at all, because Pidgin does not bring in any money. Any money I make from Pidgin right now is off of Twitch and Patreon. That's it. So if you want to support the project, that, or did I add a donate command? I might have. Donate. Yeah, we did. Oh, nope, that's the stream elements bot. Okay, well, that's not the one we're looking for. Completed. This was badge manager. Badge manager. Modernize. Oh, no, it's this one I gotta prune. Actually, it doesn't matter. Mercurial will do the right thing. All right, one more to go. Actually, yeah, don't use that donate link. That donate link sucks. So the stream stuff by default will all go to I Am Freedom. All users iamfreedom.org/donate, which is what I thought I had a command for, but I do not. But Instant Messaging Freedom is a nonprofit, registered 501c3 nonprofit organization in the United States of America, which is the legal front, whatever you want to call it, that Pidgin falls under. When we got sued by AOL, we got tired of the lead developers getting sued, because that's what they would do. And to stave off the, the lawsuits, the lead developers would retire, because then the case doesn't, they're no longer involved with the project. You can't sue them for it anymore, right? That may have happened more than 2 times. But so on the 3rd time, we created Instant Messaging Freedom as part of the settlement, and then that way the nonprofit can get sued in these regards rather than the developers directly. All right, Ninja Turtles. Got to be a real piece of shit. So we weren't a nonprofit at the time. But yeah, I mean, this was the early 2000s and 90s, and it doesn't matter, because if you want to keep your trademark, according to the U.S. trademark law, you have to defend your trademark, right? So those of you that are old enough, you might remember that Debian didn't used to have Firefox in its repository. It used to have Iceweasel. And this was because of a trademark dispute between Mozilla and Debian, right? Because Debian said, we're gonna, we don't have permission to use your logo, so we can't use it. And Firefox said, well, a part of our trademark is our logo with the name. You have to use both. So part of the solution was, all right, well, we will just rename all of your stuff, right? So there was Sea Monkey. Where the hell was the rest of it? So it was Ice Owl, Ice Weasel, something else. I don't remember. Oh, Ice Dove, Ice Owl, Ice Weasel, right? So Thunderbird got renamed to Ice Dove, Sunbird got named to Ice Owl, and Firefox got renamed to Ice Weasel. And these still exist as far as I know. And they're basically like a GNU rebranding of the Mozilla suite. So like this has happened before. It has happened other times. A lot of the times, like, you're not supposed to talk about it. I think I have a copy of our settlement with AOL here somewhere. I wasn't the lead developer at the time, but yeah. Well, no, so the page just said something about IceCat, about GNU IceCat. Ice Weasel works here for the GNU browser formerly known as... Oh, okay, they renamed it IceCat. Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know that, but sure. But yeah, so like they also named it Ice Weasel because they thought that Mozilla was being weasels about this whole thing and shit like that. So there's a whole lot of pent-up aggression and shit here with these names, the whole thing, whatever. It's in the article. But as you can see, it is 20 years old from 2006. I unfortunately lived through it. Because I'm just fucking old. All right, let's file transfer. Sheep pull. Get out of there. We just landed 1 billion pull requests. Remember in the late 2000s, Conqueror was kind of risky to use sometimes? Risky how? Which that's funny because like all of WebKit, which is, you know, the WebKit rendering engine actually started as KHTML, which was used in Conqueror. And Apple used it for Safari and created WebKit out of it. And then Apple famously just dropped a tarball of their changes for the KDE people, and everyone was like, Apple, do better. And then whatever, I don't remember how the rest of the story went, but yeah, it's just like, yep, I mean, you technically complied with the license, but it was definitely malicious compliance. It might have been lazy compliance, but yeah, it was ridiculous. That website resizes the screen with JavaScript and stuff, so certain malicious trolling websites would move the screen around. You go, oh my god, yeah, that's not cool. That's a bad time, man. All right. It's really funny the first. Oh, I'm sure. Like we used to write I was gonna say AOLs, but we used to write prank tools like that. Prank apps like that in Visual Basic back in the day. Or like, I'm about to reformat your hard drive. Hit OK or cancel, and the cancel button would move on you. So you could only hit OK. We wouldn't actually reformat the machines generally. Some people did because they were assholes, but yeah. You'd scream, hey everybody, I'm looking at, yeah. Yeah. The 90s and early 2000s were a very interesting time to be on the internet. That's all I can tell you. All right, so oh, I think we merged that. Why the hell do I have that as a shelf? Oh, it's probably something else. Oh, there's conflicts. Yay. God, we learned since then and don't have stuff like WebUSB. Hey, WebUSB is a great way to program this guy. Or, sorry, that's not the one I use for WebUSB for. Web USB is a great way to program these guys. These are Meshtastic nodes. The other one was a Flipper Zero. I should probably do more with the Flippers, with the Meshtastic stuff, but there are only so many hours in the day, and apparently I'm gonna have to put more towards working for crap I don't care about so that I can eat. Working copy had neither. Credential manager was removed, but this is all removed. Yeah, okay. Ooh. What did I hit? I don't know. All right. How's it going, Kenneth A? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Yeah, there we go. That's the notification I was looking for. I gotta. We just had a Twitch Milwaukee meetup this weekend, and somebody mentioned a different bot to use, and I need to look at how it works so I can actually get bots working in YouTube. But yeah, I'm doing all right. All right, so this pull request as it stands right now. So we just updated all of the managers and everything to have the similar API stuff like that. What this pull request is going to do is it's going to take, so right now all of the managers and everything, so, let me back up. LibPurple has to manage a lot of stuff. Your contacts, your conversations, plugins, did I say conversations? I don't remember. The log shows conversations. We don't have logging fixed at all or figured out at all right now. Whole bunch of other stuff like that, right? So our most recent paradigm was to have something like, or even all your accounts, was to have something, is this manager paradigm. I've got docs on this somewhere, but it needs to be rehashed and updated. But anyway, so the idea was at startup, LibPurple would create a default instance of the account manager. And then anytime you needed to deal with the accounts, right, to find an account, add an account, delete an account, modify an account, whatever, you would get the default account manager. Then you could add an account, remove an account, reorder them in the listing, figure out if an account's enable the account manager to say whether or not they're like you're online. This is which accounts should be brought online and have them stay online. These are which ones are currently disabled and are not actually going to be used or whatever. Which ones are connected, finding an account by ID, right? All this stuff, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, while this works, it still has some warts on it. It's still not great, right? In Purple 2, everything had global state. So like you didn't have to do like there was no manager object. There was just, you said Purple accounts find by ID, and then you passed in the ID. Now, one of the problems with all that global state was you couldn't unit test it, right? So one of the ways we attacked this was to have the managers, but we still needed the way to get to that global state. And because we took so long to work on the core object, we just didn't even consider the other option, which is to put all of them in the core, right? So that's what this pull request is finally doing. And most of this should be here. The main thing that has to change is when we create everything. And then we can clean up a whole bunch of shit from here. So this is just putting all the accessors and everything in, all that stuff. And it doesn't actually do anything here yet, but we are getting there. So the unit tests are passing. Cool. Everything's still here, still good. But we need to actually use them now, right? So you create a core instance, and then when you've done and you pass in a user interface instance or a subclass, and that'll get everything initialized but not started, right? So if you have some other UI stuff to do after the core is initialized, whatever, then you go ahead and do that. Then you start the core by calling Purple Core Start. And we should really keep track of this so you don't call this twice. But we'll get to that in a minute here. But this is the thing, right? Like I said, I started messing with this object and trying to clean up the API, and it's just like, oh, there's this problem, that problem, this other problem, right? And there's tons of it. So, but so we're gonna start simply here. Managers in core. Okay. Purple. Move all of the manager ownership to the core. Okay. Right. So we're just making a commit so we have some place to start and rebase off of and amend and go from there, right? So first thing we're going to do is account manager, boom, we're going to delete that so that we can find the other parts. 678. So this is now going to say core dash account manager equals this, but we have to make a key change here. Account manager private.h. The problem is right now this does transfer none. This is going to be changed to transfer full. Right? And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the shutdown method because we don't need it anymore. So in account manager.c, we'll look for, first we're going to find default manager because we're going to get rid of that. This is the global state, right? Gone. The whole thing with the core handling all of it is we will have one variable of global state that has all of the global state. And that will make things a bit better. Oh, that's going to be shitty. We're going to have to figure that out. Fucking Sublime Text. All right, so startup is going to get rid of this. This is all going to get outdented. And this is going to get changed to manager. We need this up here though. Purple account manager equals no. We don't need to do that. We'll do that on the other side, but we do not need to do that here. Do we want to do this? I don't know that we want to do that anymore. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right, and then this goes away because all this does is clear it, right? That's generally what all the shutdown methods do. Okay, so does it compile? No, for a number of reasons. Okay, core.c 686. Oh, right. Core account manager. Okay, there's probably one or two more here. Okay, I'll come back to that. 786. Yep. G clear object. Core account manager. Then 697. Connect object, core account manager, right? So we're just moving everything into here. There's another thing we have to do, but we'll get there in a second. Oh, this is still core. 752. Okay. The other thing is in the finalize method. Oh, we already have this, right? We're clearing the object in the finalize. If we get there somehow without calling shutdown, we won't leak memory. All right, so now 811 in account manager. Oh, this might break the unit test. So the problem here was if you didn't specify a backend for the manager. Oh, yeah, we should just do it that way. What the hell? Like, the manager shouldn't have a backend, but it might in the unit tests. So what we do is we tell it to load its backend here, right? So the manager objects have backend objects for them. The backends tell it how to load the collection, how to save items in the collection, how to delete items in the collection. The backends are abstract. User interfaces can assign to them whatever they want, their own implementations. By default, we are providing implementations that use SQLite for everything. Although I don't think you can actually create these without it, but we'll see. So 831. Oh, right. So get default. Oh, this is okay. This is where it gets shitty, but it's okay. Purple core, star core equals null. Purple core, get the defaults. G return valid file. Purple is core. No, that'll happen anyways. Doesn't matter. Return purple core. Get account manager. So we can just do it this way. I don't usually like nesting functions, but this is a temporary workaround or compatibility layer, so who cares? No, we probably don't want to call it, but okay, yeah, we'll say manager equals this. And then if it is a glist model, we return that. I'll actually return null. Okay, cool. I'm trying to decide if we want to do the deprecations now or later. All right, so account's loaded because all my shit's here. And we connected to IRC and the echo account. I don't know why echo is not working, but okay. And Zulip even tried to connect to. Okay, cool. So that's all doing what it's supposed to. Yay! So that one, the account manager is officially ported to the core. Yeah. All right, we got an ad starting. I gotta go pee and get water. I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, welcome back. Sorry about that. Time lapses of Eve Online. I can see that. I was gonna say, I think Gorse might predate Eve, but I don't think that's right. When did Eve start? 2003. No, we were all using there was a different tool before Gorse. I can't remember what it's called. But it was really hard to use, and Gorse was really easy to use. Like Gorse, you can literally just point it at a code base and it'll work. Can I not just jump right to the end? Or beginning, rather. 2005. So yeah. Sure. Somewhere in 2005. So, Eve Online beat Gorse by 2 years. Maybe that's where they got the idea. Who knows? Alright, so the other thing I'm considering right now is doing purple deprecated. How often do we use this? Like, this is nifty, but just, yeah. How's it going, Robotic Head? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Those who don't know Robotic Head, he's another streamer here on Twitch. He works on an open source project management tool called Near Beach, and you should go give him a follow. I think he has a YouTube too, right? Do you do dual stream or do you export after? I don't remember. You dual stream. Okay, cool. Let me get the link over to YouTube's. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Audio's on. A boot. You don't have YouTube? You don't have a link here. That's fine. I'm gonna guess you're youtube.com/@robotic. Head. That take us there? Looks like it, maybe. Yep. Cool. And if anybody else wants it on YouTube, there it is. Okay. So, Robotic Head, I took a page out of your book. I'm supposed to do the alpha release in 14 days, and I'm overhauling some API. What is what? What are we doing here? Or what is the link I just sent? If you're asking what are we doing here, we are working on the Pidgin instant message client, which you can find all sorts of info about it right over here. But this API update stuff was stuff that needed to be done for a long time, and we just hadn't done it yet. All right. I think we're gonna not deprecate the as model thing yet because it's kind of silly. But let's see, how much does this? A lot. Yikes. Okay. So I don't want to put these deprecations in yet because as I'm changing all this stuff, I don't want to get warning fatigue and miss stuff. But we'll put them in for this commit, but we're just not going to do it right now. It's going to be silly, but unless we're just going to be in warning fatigue. How's it going, Jason? Welcome, welcome. How are you? How's it going, Reed Sack? Hello, hello. Okay. So we got the account manager. Woo! Contact manager next. This is all kind of haphazard. Contact manager startup. You're looking to learn GTK dev, so it's very interesting. Yeah, we do, like, this isn't really like a teaching stream, but you can definitely pick up on things. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of GTK tonight, though. All right, so do we get past this part? No, 710. Oop. Okay, so that looks all right so far, but we have to go to contact manager private.h. But we do use a lot of G objects here. All of the GTK widgets and stuff are based on top of G objects, stuff like that. So there's a lot of commonality, but still not quite the same. Did we change? No, this shouldn't ever be nullable. Oh no, I guess it could be nullable if there's an error. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Although null able null able. Primarily learn by reading open source code. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So if you look at the Pidgin source tree, number one, we use Mercurial, which is probably gonna be weird for you, but all of the widgets and stuff, almost all of our stuff is in templates now. There's still some stuff that's dynamically generated, but not a whole lot of it. But under the Pidgin directory, there's resources, and then anything that's .ui is a widget. Well, not everything, but so this is a template class. So we create a Pidgin contact list that has parent to GTK box, and this defines the layout of the widgets. I'm probably like, oh, gross XML. There's something out there called Blueprint if people really hate XML that much. Blueprint is a custom DSL or domain-specific language, but it gets converted into XML. We're just like, why waste the time? Just use the tools as they are and go from there. XML is fine. The problem is people have bad experiences with XML formats that were done poorly, like Apple's plist or Next Steps plist, property lists. Which, if you've not seen this format, oh my god. You want to know how to do XML wrong? Here is how you do XML wrong. Oh, there's no good examples. But yeah, it's just, it's horrible. They defined XML like attributes in XML. Because, yo dog, I heard you like XML. You got so used to XML, and that XML I got used to was horrible. Yeah, yeah. Well, that was because it was all based on Perl, Jason, right? It was all based so that it could get pushed and pulled into Perl dictionaries, or objects, or whatever the hell they call them. Hashes. Perl calls them hashes. And, yeah. Yeah, XML isn't bad. Yeah, like I said, people love to hate on it. XML's fine when it's used in moderation and done right. And a bad experience with using XML and Android UIs? Yeah. I can see that. I haven't done anything on Android in a long time. No one was standard from the other one? Yep, because it all depended on who built it. And there was no consistency and no code review and no nothing at that place. I still don't know how that software's still running, honestly. Nullable, oh, transfer full, nullable. Yep, okay. And then we need to delete shutdown. Still wasn't. And it is. You've talked to people. It probably isn't as effective as it should be. Yeah. If only somebody could write a new version that is looking for work right now. Oh wait, I already wrote a version for them. Contact manager. So Retech, are you using C or are you using one of the language bindings to do GTK? Oh, we did, but it wasn't launched because the outsourced company couldn't do what we wanted correctly. Could have done it yourself better, but that's old news. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I did build an alternative, and they never launched it. So those of you that don't know the backstory here, and we're talking to Jason on Twitch, and he and I used to work together in OEM, and we had this in-house developed testing and validation system for the machines that we were shipping out. Right, so you would network boot the machine, and then it would verify that the hardware was installed correctly, firmware was loaded, blah, 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 blah. The original implementation of it, which is still in use somehow, was written in Perl by someone who was more of a hardware engineer than a software engineer. And as you may guess, that made the code hard to maintain. Yeah, I know that software's over 20 years old because I started there to support it on the floor 20 years ago next month. So at one point I rewrote the entire thing in Python from a software engineer's point of view. Everything was maintainable, everything was buildable. But then the CIO, who was a holdover from an acquisition, he was the owner of the company that was acquired, decided we weren't going to use that, and instead we were going to use PC Doctor, and killed my project. Well, within a year after I left, because I was like, what the fuck am I even doing here anymore? He got fired. Like, how often do you hear about C-level executives getting fired, especially when they came in from a merger or from an acquisition? And it's just, you can't make this stuff up, man. Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. But it is what it is. The software comes to Australia to drink? Yeah. In Milwaukee, they just have to be with a parent. And then it doesn't matter. Arisaki, you see? Okay, yeah. So a lot of the stuff here in the Pidgin code base might be helpful for you, but a lot of it's complicated and doing a whole lot of stuff. Because Pidgin is a user interface for a chat client built on top of a library we write called Purple, which is what we're in right now, right? This is why all the symbols start with purple. Purple is a dual abstraction between all of the different chat networks and user interfaces. So while everything is very much glib and GNOME-like, it doesn't depend on GTK directly. libpurple is purposely meant to be abstracted so that it can work in other user interfaces. There was a Qt front end at one point for Pidgin 2 that's still kind of in development, kind of works, called Quail. Pidgin is a GTK front end. Finch is an ncurses front end. Adium, which is a Mac OS separate client, can load plugins from libpurple because it integrates with libpurple to a certain regard. So there's a IRC gateway thing called Biddleby, which has a libpurple plugin, which will do all this stuff. There's an XMPP gateway called Spectrum 2, which uses libpurple under the hood, right? So there's that abstraction makes things harder to follow, but it's there. But there's tons of stuff here. So what was even better is they tried to do PC Doctor multiple times, then PC Doctor took code from us. Yeah, go fucking figure. Dude, do you? I'm sure I told you this. I doubt you remember, but so at one time we got on a call with PC Doctor, and I go to them. I was like, "So how do I test multiple NICs?" And they're like, "Why would you have multiple NICs?" And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, yeah." It was, yeah. Look at our wiki page. Okay. The Wikipedia page is a little out of date and stuff, but yeah. You said PC Doctor is semi-local. 8 hours now. Oh, a view. Okay, I was like, they're not here. I nicked all these nicks and now I have multiple nicks. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess in 2012, that's roughly when this was. Like, not a whole lot of people, like most PC users, let's go with that. And I mean personal computer, not politically correct. Would only have one network card in their machine. But like the vast majority of the machines we shipped, and I'm talking like 99% of the machines we shipped were rack mounted servers, which all of course had at least 2 NICs in them, right? Some of them, which were actual internet appliances, security appliances. Okay, that wiki got it. Some of them that were network security appliances that were 2Us would have 16 NICs in them. Some of them all SFPs. and they didn't have video output. Everything had to be done over serial. And this jackass is like, yeah, we'll use PC Doctor. Like, for fuck's sake, man. Do you even know what we do here? Just oh yeah, this is real old. That's not even supposed to be this way. Oh, I did this backwards. I was like, this doesn't look right. What? Shutdown goes away. So we're probably not going to do literally everything here. Maybe it depends. We'll see. Today Worlds isn't C quite hard to get into for I can't tell you. People ask me all the time how to get it started in C. I don't know. Like, I do not know what is out there today for beginners, and even if I did, I couldn't tell you if it's any good because I'm way too biased. I have 30 years of C experience under my belt. Like, it's, yeah. So, like, I can't tell you. I don't know. Makes you wonder how they are lasting and how his company we bought lasted. Yeah, I know. Absolutely ridiculous. Still the same stories today. I tell people how their own stuff works even today. Our API is on-prem. I ping it. It's an AWS IP. Yikes. Yeah, that doesn't sound surprising, actually. My C experience is solid. Has started complaining about kids on its grass. Yes. You're not entirely wrong. I don't need that. Where's the contact manager? There it is. So nowadays, programmers learning language is about following tutorials, while process of learning C is completely different. I mean, there's still tutorials and stuff out there for C. I mean, that's how I learned. It's just, you know, most of the modern languages and stuff, you don't have to write, you don't have to type out crazy build commands or build make files or something like that, right? That's some of the big reasons. There's a lot to learn, right? And then they've got like distro dependencies or just like dependencies in general in C and C++ suck and they're a pain in the butt, right? And you start talking about platform compatibility and then it's just native package development sucks. Just not even going to try to sugarcoat it. It's just, yeah. It's just, it's hard. Got to do some C++ at the new place. Good luck. Armadillo Rancher says the K&R book is really approachable, but might not be good for modern C. Yeah, definitely. Did they ever update it to not use the K&R style functions? but mainly C Sharp. Okay, yeah, works. That works. There aren't much tutorials for higher level stuff. Stuff one needs to learn by doing. Yeah, there used to be a decent GTK tutorial. I don't know if there is anymore, but if you're trying to learn GTK as well, look at the GTK demo. This will install with GTK for you. And like everything has the source code, although it looks like crap right here now. But everything has a source code for how it gets built and how it works. Application's probably a bit crazy to get started with. What's a demo? But didn't launch anything. But oh, you have to hit run now, apparently. You used to be able to double click and it would run it. But now you have to hit run. Nope. Nope. Okay. I don't know why that's not working, but okay. Right, and then it'll give you the whole demo and everything. And like you can see the, oh, this is the widget, the wizard assistant thing. But yeah, so like you read through here, it's going to tell you how to build it, how it works, that kind of stuff. But then, so like this is with a UI file, right? So it defines an object that's list store one, blah, blah, blah. Creates a menu. Still in the menu. And then it does an about dialog. Whatever. You run it, right? So there's the about dialog I was talking about. Oh, it says builder demo. Cool, right? Here's all the stuff, all the menu options, yada, yada, yada. Do these shortcuts work? I'm going to guess they don't. Oh, they do. Okay. The shortcut stuff's a little weird. Little code editor. You probably want to look at GTK source view then. Fair warning, the docs on source view are not great. I'm still trying to figure out completions so that I can do Nick completions in Pidgin 3. But we're not really focused on the UI right now, so that's okay. Robotics Head says he uses C# for his 9 to 5. Number of times you've had to edit project solution files. Yeah. You'll admit a lot easier than the make files you used to look at back in the day. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I might ping you for something stupid. I use the MB media server. Yeah. I know I should move to Jellyfin. But Jellyfin doesn't have clients on all the TVs I need to run on. Anyways, there's plugins I want to write, but like they don't give instructions for how to like do it without Visual Stupid. And I'm not trying to figure that out. So maybe you can help me figure that out. I don't know. How's it going, SWK? Welcome, King Degenerate. Swanky. No, I'm like SW Software King Degenerate. Yeah, there we go. That's what SWK means. There's Rider if you don't want visual. Oh, that like I don't want any IDE, man. that's like I just want to use Sublime Text. It's fine. You're looking at Tree Sitter. Huh. What's Tree Sitter? Like if I'm going to use anything, I'm just going to go like use .NET Core or something. But like I don't want to have to, if that's even still a thing. I don't know. My info is way out of date. Oh shit, is this not update? Oh no, we did this in the other one. But what was I saying? Oh, right. But like I don't want to set any of that crap up. Like the plugins I want to write are not that difficult. Latest.NET is the same as Core. It's multi-platform now. Okay, gotcha. But like realistically, I don't want to write any C#. So what I've been looking at doing is instead just working around the problem by making. So what I really want to do for MB is so I pay for a Flow Hockey or a Flow Sports streaming account. It's how I watch the local hockey team play. And like I'd like to have that on MB so that I can get rid of the app on my phone and the app on my TV and stuff like that, right? And they don't really have an API, but you know that's never stopped us in Pidgin land before. So whatever. But like the problem is I also don't want to write like a whole bunch of custom plugins for MB. So I'm thinking of, well, I've spent some time trying to end around it by using IPTV, but the problem is like IPTV stuff is not documented at all. Like there's like some like standards doc on it, but it's something like 700 pages, and I'm like, I'm not reading this. Um, um, but like I don't know if you can actually have folders or not, and like it's not even that bad, right? Because like you're supposed to like export an M3U or an M3U8 or something, but like there's also supposed to be a way to do folders and stuff, and like a channel guide and shit, and like that's the stuff that nobody has anything about, right? But anyway, so the idea was to build like a simple Go service to handle all that shit, and then I can just have it hit the URL for Flow Sports, and do all that kind of stuff, and then do it for other stuff that might come up, right? Like it's stupid that like a bunch of my stuff doesn't have like Pluto TV apps on it, right? So let's get those in MB, right? But again, I don't want to write MB plugins. I just want to write some code that's reusable. So if you make it use IPTV and you just shuffle it back out, then what's the problem? Right? And then everybody will be happy, or not. Probably get sued. But it's really surprising to me that nobody's done any of this yet. But it is what it is. If you don't need more than Vim, then you suck at coding. Or if you need more than Vim. Yeah, Vim and I have a very storied history. Mostly because I refuse to learn a lot of the navigation stuff in Vim because it doesn't translate anywhere, right? It's a hard skill, not a soft skill. And I don't want to install Vim plugins everywhere. Because that's not a good use of my time. Tree Sitter is a parsing library. Oh. For parsing what? Oh, for the code editing. Yeah, no, so GTK Source View has stuff like code completion, snippet support, syntax highlighting, stuff like that. But, you know, if you want to build your own, but, you know, do whatever you want. But if you're just trying to, like, get something together fast and get a good understanding of it, then, yeah, go look at Source View. But if you want to build it yourself, do whatever. What's up, mister? Mr. Slater. Actually, hold on. Let me just do this right now. 1 second. Yeah, let's do this. All right, sorry, I had to order something on Amazon real quick, so it'll get here sooner. I was like, I'll do it after the stream. Then I'm like, oh, wait. I might be waiting another day for it. What's a good PSU for like Ryzen 5 and 3880 these days? Yeah, audio should have died. Sorry. I just did my normal away scene, which kills the mic and flips the screen, but it leaves the camera on. Although, arguably, I could just turn the camera off. Whatever. But yeah, but otherwise, could be fine, or I don't know, maybe it's fine, maybe I don't know. You messed with the call stuff, just automatic times and does random something. I don't know. It's weird with all this audio. Knows what's going on. No, I don't have that patch. That was better when I was using the foot pedal, which is sitting over there, because I could sit here and fake it, because like you don't see my hand hitting it, because I'd be hitting the foot pedal underneath my desk. And I'm just rocking the mute button. 3080 takes 3 PCIe inputs? Jesus, man. I need to get some audio filter that makes it sound like garbled. Like bad package, just like whatever, that's not how that sounds. So, okay. This is okay. The thing is, we don't do a whole lot with the contact manager right now. So we're not going to do every single manager in this pull request. We have everything in the core to do it, but we're not going to do it that way yet, because we still have to move everybody. Sounds like a plugin idea. Well, there should be a VST plugin or something for it, right? I would assume there would be. All right. VST plugin, bad cell phone audio. There's got to be one. Vim Clutch? Yeah, I mean, Vim Clutch has been around a while. And like I said, I have a foot pedal. I've got a 3-pedal foot pedal sitting over there that's dirty as hell, because it sat under this desk for years. For say, no, I want filter, telephone vocal effect. Yeah, does FreeSwitch or yeah, do you know if FreeSwitch has support for VST plugins? It seems like it should, but it probably wouldn't make sense for FreeSwitch. But huh. Yeah, like I can't imagine it'd be that hard to implement. The VST stuff's pretty well documented and it's pretty simple interface. I gotta figure out what's going on here. These jobs are just like dying and shit. And they're running forever. There's probably another one queued up too. I was running for over an hour. Alright, so that's the contact manager. There's support for easily jacking into the audio stream. Oh, interesting. Yeah, back when I worked at Corvisa, a ton of our customers wanted voice recognition stuff, and we're just like, because nobody wanted to look at how to do it with FreeSwitch. Not that it couldn't have been done, and we were on contract with you guys at the time. I think you were still there at the time, right? In like 2014. Yeah, no. So the real issue we had, is we needed to access the audio stream from FreeSwitch in a container that was running on Mesos when FreeSwitch was running on a node, and then we had to like find. Well, no, we already were talking to FreeSwitch. Yeah, I don't know. That was shit I didn't do. Like, I built the microservices and made other shit work. I didn't interact with FreeSwitch. Like, I got Docker all set up and everything, and containerized everything, and built microservices and shit. And then handled chef stuff and other bullshit. But I didn't actually really interact with that. Although I did a bit with Kamailio and stuff, but not much with FreeSwitch. Damn, I just missed an ad. Oh well. Oh, did we get rid of the default manager up here? Yes. Do you know if Anthony goes to CypherCon at all? Just realized he could maybe show up at that, but maybe not. You don't know? Yeah. I should, like, reach out and get to know him better, because he's not far from me as far as I know. Like, 20 minutes. Kind of far. Yeah. So, like... Oh, yeah. Alright, so that took care. That took care. I typo in spoken language, too. Alright, oh, we want to go back to startup. Alright, next. Oh, that's not what we wanted. We needed... Oh, it's just start. Okay, but conversation manager, next one, to get the variable deleted. Ooh. Alright. Contact manager. Core convert. Oh, that's... Core conversation manager. We're gonna clean these up in a minute. I want to get through this part first, and then we'll clean up the signal stuff a little bit. All right. Do we compile? We do. And then shut down conversation manager. Where are the convert? There it is. G-clear object. Core conversation manager. Okay. That looks happy. Oh, we didn't do the rest of this yet, though. Conversation manager. Private.h. Works better without caps locks, too. Transfer full. That's fine, but this goes away. What the fuck, man? Yeah, at some point I should probably make it back to ClueCon as well. I'll probably have to write a talk to be able to afford it. Like, even CypherCon. Like, I used coupons and discounts and early bird stuff, and it's still $400. It's like, dude. Fuck. What I really need to do, CypherCon in particular has lifetime badges. I just need to do something to get a lifetime badge. Now, how to do that, I'm not sure, but figure something out. Oh, actually, we should have gotten a notice about CypherCon here. Yeah. Didn't show up. Good. Oh, this should... Nope, yeah, it is under this. Because we standardized the way we organize this code, which was a good idea. Oh, that's... There you go. But yeah, so, you know, at startup, you pass in the core. From the core, we get the UI. We should probably move this around, but it's fine. Yeah, from the core, we get the UI. Then from the UI, we get the backend for the conversation manager backend. So the UI can just tell us which backend to use. Then if we had an error getting that thing, we probably get the error, we bail out of here. Otherwise, we create our new conversation manager with the backend, and then we get the hell out of here. Woo! Oh, yep. 526. Yeah, these were like half right. What the fuck? $596 was it? Return purple core get conversation manager purple core get default. But I just had some crazy fucking deja vu. Lovely. All right, so this one we can actually test the side effect. What's Ninja? It's a build tool. It's similar to Make, but Make is kind of a pain in the butt to use. I mean, Ninja is also a pain in the butt to use, but typically you don't write Ninja build files. You will use something to generate a project like Mason or Ninja or Xmake or Premake. I think those do Ninja. And then Ninja can do task async, or it can run multiple tasks asynchronously. It'll figure out dependencies on its own. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. They're not completely different. Just the Linux Make is GNU Make, and it has a lot more extensions that the BSD Make doesn't have. But yeah, but so like I don't want to wait my director. Or we can do this. So we use Mason as the build system, right? So Mason's gonna go through, do a configure like thing, right? Like if you ever used Auto Tools or something, and then you use Ninja to build it, right? So that created the build.ninja file, which you don't want to. I mean, you can write this by hand if you want, but one of the founding things about Ninja was that you shouldn't be writing this file; it should be generated, right? So like this file is 4,500 lines long, but it does all the build stuff, but you define it in the abstract in Mason and go from there, right? And then Ninja will just burn through it, right? But like, you know, Make has issues where like you have to manually manage dependencies, and if you do everything with like make minus capital C to go into a directory, it can only traverse one directory at a time, stuff like that. Mason gives no fucks, or Ninja gives no fucks. It doesn't matter if your dependencies are cross directories or whatever, it'll figure it out and go. And you can just write that into the build system, and then, you know, it'll build everything it can at the time. And then when new dependencies are resolved, it will then just start adding them to the build queues, stuff like that. So it's really fast. It's nice. Yeah. Like, Ninja was built for Chromium, right? The open source version of Chrome, because Make would take too long to find dependency changes. So they wrote Ninja and saved time. Well, at least they claim they saved time. Just because they have so many files, stuff like that, by the time Make iterates through all of it, it's just, it takes too long. So, like, those are just build targets, right? So, like, we add a custom target into Pidgin called Ninja Turtles. Since the build tool is named Ninja, we use turtles as a common target that will run all of our stuff. So one of the first things it does is it'll run our portable object translation file, or POT file, for translations to make sure, like, we didn't delete a file and forget to remove it from there, stuff like that. Then we have it build all the unit tests, and then it runs all the unit tests. And right now we're failing. Fun. Right? And then, yeah. So you can do custom targets, you can do whatever. So, yeah. But again, that depends on your build system. But I mean, you can put whatever you want into Ninja. But if you're using a build system like Mason, then you need something. Then you'll do an add custom command, and then do whatever. But these build systems do a lot of work for us. Oh, this is probably the problem. Okay. Did we build though? Really hoping to grind through this whole thing, but yep. Alright, so why does the count fail? That's not how you spell test. Get conversation manager assertion. Purple is core. What in the hell are we doing in that test? This is disconnect normal. There is something funky going on here. This is probably some old code that shouldn't have done shit. Oh, okay. No, this isn't horribly bad. Purple count at C384. Oh. Okay, this is fine. I don't know why we didn't have this jump out earlier, but whatever. Purple core, get conversation manager, core. Oh, because manager will, okay, yeah. Well, now the core is null. Okay. Let's check out next. Yeah, well, check out Mason. Mason is very nice. If you haven't used Mason before, use Mason. Mason defaults to Ninja. Like, sure. Oh, of course, that one doesn't have it. So, Mason, you define your project and the languages it's going to use. You declare the dependencies you want. By default, it uses package config for everything, but it can use CMake as well. So like if you don't have the package config file for this, but you have some CMake fine for it, it'll work. It'll figure it out. Then you store those in variables. These are just a list of proof of concepts I put together, right? And then I wrote a for loop in here that'll create an executable target for each POC, looking for a file poc.c, and then adds in the dependencies. And then I'll probably have to do this because this is really old. Right, so there's the list of targets, although that's wrong. But you can also tell Ninja to run everything default. Right, so Ninja emoji, boom. There, I ran the emoji test, and apparently I left that in a bad state. Or it never worked. Right. Just it's so much easier than literally everything else. Like if you have a single file program, it's 2 lines of build system. Right? Define the project, define the executable. You're done. And it's portable. It'll work wherever. There's no AC, there's no auto reconf, there's no AC, whatever, there's no configure, there's no custom crap for Windows. It's just, it's the same everywhere. And it is amazing. I don't want GDB, but cool, it's passed now. The other cool thing is with your unit test, you see I can tell it to just run a single test. Actually, if I wanted to be specific, I could say Pidgin 3 account. But then you can get rid of the verbose to get rid of the log messages, right? Cool. And then you can just add --gdb and it'll run everything in GDB for you, all set up. And yeah. It is very, very, very nice. When people are like, oh, but I'm comfortable with CMake. And I'm just like, okay. I tried for a long time to move all our stuff to CMake, and CMake was not ready for that. So we stuck with auto tools because everybody implemented auto tools, and you had AC or autoconf macros and shit for everything, and yeah. I don't know that I want to test. Oh, it's contact manager, not account. I type search. I was like, this should have worked. Yep. Hopefully it's useful. Low context async, purple account manager, get default 826. So wait, who called this? Seagull backend. Wait. Contact manager, Seagull backend. Is this? No. Contact manager, Seagull backend. We were 172. Well, we didn't fail back to load the what? 396. Did we return a null one for that? What the, how the shit did this work before? Oh, because I think that always gave us an option. Okay. That's the other reason why I don't want to do everything here at once. How do we test this then? Oh, fuck, this is async too. Um, I don't know if this is gonna work great. For in the unit test, we just create the account. What are you laughing at? My unit test detection stuff in here to just make shit work. Got a great pick last night when the storms were rolling through. Tornado warned cell. I was photographing. Dropped a tornado out. Oh man, nice. Oh nice. I'm like, it's Imager, so we have to be a little careful here because streaming. That is quite the shot. Did that hit the power lines, or did it just miss them and go straight to ground? Oh no. Is this overexposure, or did it actually go between these two power lines? It looks like it hit the near the pole, but it's hard to say exactly. Only about a mile away, damn. Yeah, for anybody that's not in the US, there's been this giant fucking storm system that's basically the entire height of the US moving west to east. We got snow here. We got a blizzard. I think officially we only got like 6 inches of snow, which I don't know what the fuck that is in centimeters. I'm not good at that at all. 6 inches to cm. 15 centimeters. But at the northern part of the state, they got over 2 feet. So about 0.6 meters. And yeah. Yeah, but 15 centimeters to 0.6 meters. Pfft, who cares? Blew out the sensor? Oh, I'm sure. The storm was coming and went to go somewhere a few hours ago and it was ripping. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I finally went out and shoveled at like 1. No, I started shoveling at 11 something. I did like the front half of my house. And then I went out at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock and did the back, and somebody was plowing the alley. So I didn't have to, like, the plowed stuff didn't get frozen. It was just, oh, right away. There you go, garage is clear. Let's go. But like I said, it wasn't so bad here, which is good. What time is it? 10:30. Okay. I gotta be up early tomorrow. Oh, I gotta give someone a ride at 7 in the morning, so I don't know if I'm sleeping or not yet. We'll see. Yesterday was 80F, about 27C. With strong storms and tornadoes, and today's been just over 0C and snowing. Yeah, we had a similar swing, not quite as drastic, but similar. Yeah, we had full-blown blizzard conditions. It was funny too, because like the banisters on my porch and stuff, there's like no snow on them. But then my roommate pointed out that something in the yard was buried, almost completely buried. And I was like, oh, so yeah, we got a lot more snow than I can tell from here. You have a friend who sends you photos of what's meant to be a box with lots of circuits? Lightning fries the hell out of them? Nice. So what, they just leave it out for lightning to hit them or something, or what? Tomorrow morning it's supposed to be 20F, negative 6C, and then back to... Oh, okay, what's mine look like? Underground. Come on. Okay, so right now, it's 17F, feels like 8, that's in Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it is negative 12, feels like, or it's negative 8, but feels like negative 13. But then on the 10-day... up to 10, 11C. Oh, more snow on Wednesday? Get out of here. No. So. Yeah, it's going to snow. It's 39 Fahrenheit. Okay, sure. Then 44 on Thursday, 52, 54. Yeah. But we're still getting freezes, so I can't put plants outside yet. I need to get more in my garden going. These are systems used on farms. Weather state. Oh, gotcha. Lightning loves to hit these spots. Yeah. They're usually on poles with equipment at the top. Yeah, gotcha. Somebody needs to get Mother Nature back on her bipolar meds. Yeah. Well, I mean, if only somebody had warned us about Man Bear Pig. And if only some people listened about Man Bear Pig. We're gonna do this. FG test initialized. Testing equals true. Oh, I guess we can just say testing equals gtest initialized. Testing. All right, so then this can become if testing yeah. Oop. Oh, there's no new method, right? Yep. We'll probably clean this stuff up later, but right now it's not a big deal. Nobody got cereal. I'm super cereal. Those episodes were pretty funny. But with this, excuse me, with all this overhaul of the core and the UI stuff, damn it, I just missed the ad again. We'll probably actually make a real test UI that's like actually has everything implemented, which should make things much happier. Yeah, I totally meant to uppercase that. Oh boy. Yep, okay, cool. Untyped purple core, 378. Where is that? Oh, we didn't include it. But we only need it here anyways. Oh, purple account manager, SQL backend. Oh yeah, we didn't include that. Oh, yeah, we did. No, I'm in the wrong file. Right? No. What? Oh, right. We're in the contact manager SQL backend, not the account manager SQL backend. Cool. All right, so we're not done here yet. All right, yeah. So once we get this other one done, we're going to clean up the callbacks real quick. And then we're going to make a pull request because I try to keep my pull request to 500 lines change total. I don't like to get much past that because the larger it gets, the more time it takes, the harder it is to review, yada, yada, yada. That's obviously not something ideal. We don't really do sign off and commits. That's a Git thing, not a Mercurial thing. Sorry. No. You have no skills. You can't review a 200,000 line patch. Just saying. Okay, sure. You mean the ones your devs do all the time? And there's a big difference between getting paid to review code and asking people to volunteer to review code, right? Happens on those Node.js and NPM repo when someone pushed Node module. Yep. Well, can't fix broken language stuff that way. Like, you should, and they should definitely try to fix that, but what are you gonna do? All right, presence manager. That's the next one. I mean, you can't use a broken package repo and expect to have stable apps. Yep. Remember when NPM didn't even have namespaces? Oh, NPM. Don't ever change. Or just keep working on yourself forever. Remember when that asshole put the political message in is odd, or was it even broke half the planet? Yeah. President's manager doesn't actually have an air, does it? Yeah. It's not. Okay. Yeah, in a package that shouldn't. Yeah. Dude, I can't even tell you how many JavaScript bros I failed to be like, you should just have a string library. I'm like, but no, then there's more stuff for them to download. And I'm just like, yeah, that's why we have these things called standard libraries that are like, you shouldn't have to download it in the first place, because it should just be there as part of the standard library of the freaking language. But even then, okay, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about packet size. And having an is odd and is even function, talking about the minimum packet size, they're not going to increase your packet size. Because the combination of the two are not going to get over 1400 bytes. And they're like, huh? And you're just like, all right, well, let's talk about this thing called maximum transmission unit, which is the max. No, it's not maximum. No, because it's an average. It's always 15. It's always no. MTU can be smaller. Never mind. What am I saying? It's maximum. Yeah, it's definitely maximum. But like, it's still gonna. Everyone's gonna expect at least a 1400 MTU. So, I missed her. What'd you knock over? Oh, were you like, fuck that water bottle? Give me treats, fuck your water bottle. If you need a package to figure out if a number's even, you suck at coding. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that you'll always suck at coding. It just means that you currently suck at coding. I'm paying sometimes to build those massive node modules in action. Yeah, well, that's what they get, right? You pissed off your new devs, no server side, no JS. And they threw a fit over it, but server side rendering. Yeah, okay. Sure. No, you didn't want the treats, man? What the hell? Next, we're going to be talking about React Native this and that, blah, blah, blah. If you recall correctly, isOdd was like 300 lines of metadata boilerplate, including the isEven dependency declaration with one line implementation of return. Not, yeah. This. 2025 jumbo frames have been since the 90s. For fuck's sake, can we just go to 9,000 MTU everywhere? Yeah, I should probably turn that on somewhere at some point here. All my gear, I think, should support it. I've got a bunch of dumb switches, though, but they're probably fine. They're all modern. But see two types of JS devs. One saying, oh, let's write it all in JS front end, back end, and apps. Other JS getting fanatic of Rust. Say we use Rust in back end now. While blazing. Yeah. Sure. Whatever. We should probably tell the UI to stop before everything else, but we'll get to that when we get to that, I guess. So tired of this switch too. Which is also mostly a JavaScript thing. Oh, you two-spaced indents everywhere. That's easier to read. You don't have to indent the whole thing. And the same assholes that are complaining about too much file or data transfer size inflates it because they use spaces instead of tabs. Just at least be consistent with your idiocy, please. Is even. I think just returns is odd. Yeah. Well, no, that's what they're saying. SWK. And also RC, RN, STN. What do I call you? I've been trying to figure it out. I'm like, Acorn stand, Acorn stand. I don't know. So I still prefer Java for such work. Ugh, I will never prefer Java for anything. What kind of generator would pick odd as the base case? This package gets like 350k weekly downloads. Ugh. They are a troll? Do you know them? Oh, we don't even need this anymore. We got no weak pointer to keep track of. Oh, sorry, I misread. You're saying the degenerate that picks odd as the base case is a troll. Yeah. Guy's obviously a troll. When Trump lost to Biden, he replaced the package with pro-Trump message. Oh boy. Yep. They do be like that. I don't want to actually put this on stream, so we're just gonna open here. Oh, it works on strings too. Of course it does. I don't see any political stuff in here though. Fucking, it has a dependency. Oh, it depends on is number. You have remediation to offer? Okay. No remediate. Fair. Sure. Well, I'll just call you RC then. Like Royal Crown Cola. Sure. Why not? They cleaned out the political stuff? Okay. Yeah. Like, I still don't even know why that's even a thing, man. It's just... Ugh. JavaScript, man. But look how fast I can build stuff. It's all the same arguments everybody uses with AI now, too. But I can prototype so fast. I can build things, blah, blah, blah. This is all the same shit they said about JavaScript. One language you would love to play with is Elixir for some UAPI bindings. So I already kernel just compare. Yeah, I don't. Elixir seemed okay. It seemed better than what's the other one on Beam? Erlang. Erlang always threw me for a loop when I was trying to learn it and stuff because like the line ending character was period, which just doesn't feel normal. This is not the same line number anymore. 680. Did I read it wrong? I don't know. Oh, we gotta do this one too. Oh, we don't need this. We need... You only ever get your head around Erlang, and it's on-the-fly function replacements for zero downtime upgrades. Yeah. Mostly see Ericsson only using it for 5G and 6G core solutions. Really? Huh. Yeah, well, Erlang and OTP, right? OTP is the big thing that actually does all that stuff for Erlang, right? And a lot of that stuff is the ideas that have, the concepts, we'll say, have been reproduced for Kubernetes and other stuff too. But I still think Erlang is much better at handling stuff because everything's a message, whereas like Kubernetes is just like monitoring services and somebody's monitoring, and yeah. Yeah, I know you have Erlang support in FreeSwitch, and actually I was going to do Erlang support in G-Plugin at some point, but I never did. Because, like, I realized that's probably a waste of time. Not to say anything bad about Erlang or anything, but just it's not going to be like I've got things that are going to be more useful for people. Oh, this doesn't have the returns, transfer full, nullable, the new instance. Yeah, exactly. Why bother? Let's have some hardcore phone switching nerd. No one is going to use it. Yeah. We already have Lua. We've got Lua, Python 3, and then native plugins. Technically, we also have Vala. We did a proof of concept with Rust, which I did on stream, and I will never, ever fucking do on stream again. Got PTSD, man, I swear. JavaScript, we might do GNOME JavaScript, but I fear if we do JavaScript, we're going to get the NPM, or we're going to get the Node people, and the Node people are going to be dumb about shit, and just, I don't want to pull in Node. Plus, Node is very militant about embedding Node, as I'm sure you probably know from FreeSwitch, because I think you guys did Node.js at some point. Like they purposely won't document it because they don't want people using it, because then they have to commit to an API. Like, I wonder how Lua has survived this long when syntactically the Lua language is almost identical to the Node.js one. Oh, you embedded V8. Okay, maybe that's what well, Node is based on V8, which is even funnier. But yeah. What about C++ for what? For G-Plugin? It'll just work. Extern C the external things and you're fine. Oh, we embedded SpiderMonkey, and when that died, we went to V8. I thought SpiderMonkey's still around. Yeah. What do you mean it died? Well, he's still here. I don't know why there's two versions, but it's still here. I mean, by that argument, who uses Firefox now? GNOME.js uses the one from WebKit. I can't think of what that's called. CJS? Okay, so GNOME JavaScript, which GNOME Shell does use, is based on SpiderMonkey, right? Okay, I guess, what the fuck? They didn't pull this in, did they? What the shit? Okay, I don't know how they're pulling in Firefox, but whatever. But there was another one called CJS, which was, is that the actual word? Which was the JavaScript engine, or is the JavaScript engine in WebKit. JavaScript core. There we go. That's the name I'm looking for. Don't know how to do anything with that one. It's build systems nightmare. All right, so we got an ad. Sorry, I'm gonna go get water. I gotta pee. I'll be back in a few. Alright, sorry, I had to make a bowl of charcuterie shit. Oh, I'm hungry. Just remember why we moved from it to V8 and free switch? Okay. JSC lives in JavaScript. Yeah, I figured it out. Thanks. All right. We got more tests failing again? Come on. Oh, okay. All right. Did what? No, I ran the test. That would help. No, now it's the account manager that's failing. Lovely. Right, the presence manager is dead. Why does the account manager care about this? Oh. Oh. Okay, sure. Sublime. Fuck's sake. I'm really gonna have to bug I just had his name and I can't think of it now. The guy who works on Sublime on here all the time. Might even be on right now. God, why can't I think of his name? Whatever. Might have to bug him. I keep going. I think I know it. Nope. Yeah, wait. Why don't we... Well... Okay. Okay, does it blend? No, I didn't want GDB, but it's fine. Looks like it passed. Cool. Does the other one work now? Sorry, I just realized I'm chewing right above the mic. Is that annoying? Hopefully not. I can mute though. You don't hear it? Okay, good. Good. I know that can be, triggering's not the right word, but it can be very off-putting for people. I'm just masticating. Come on. Yeah, so my little charcuterie board here. Beef sticks, string cheese, grapes, and crackers. Okay, there we go. Yep. This is the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, so we haven't gotten to 1,000 yet, which is good because we're almost done. Ooh, this grape is definitely on its last leg. Okay. Oh, I was gonna do incremental commits here, and I kept forgetting. Stupid thing, these grapes, they don't ever get the whole damn stem out. Got to assign core in the presence manager? Hmm? Where? Oh, look at that. And you use the channel points. Yay! I don't know if that was a typo. That was more just an omission. But sure. um, burning 100,000 points, Jesus. Yeah, people kept complaining that I didn't have things for them to use with channel points. So I was like, here, burn 100,000. There you go. And if you have better ideas of what to do, let me know. These crackers are hella dry. Damn it, I meant to run turtles. Cool. Alright, let's go back to here. We still have to actually test that things still work and we didn't actually break anything. Oh, we got presence manager in here? Yeah, okay. Oh, I was gonna fix the callbacks too. Okay, yep, that looks fine. That's all good. Alright, so the callbacks. Also, what we're gonna do at some point. This is really hard to follow. And that's not on purpose, of course. But what I'm gonna do is we're at some point we'll probably do as a next pull request. I just want to get this whole thing set up and get rid of these additional variables and stuff, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna just use a list. We're gonna make a function type def, a function pointer type def, and for the startup methods, that's the other reason why we need the startup methods to match. Then we're just going to build a static array that's in the right order. And then we're just going to iterate that. So instead of having each one of these, we'll just iterate that loop and call the stuff, and then we'll do all the cleanup at the end, right? The other problem with this setup is making sure things are in the right order, things are being called for whatever stuff, blah, 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 blah. That becomes a problem. yeah. So anyways, we're going to do that in the next pull request. We have to clean this shit up first. Right? Okay, so here, all of these connect objects, we're just going to pass the core in now because we can. Because all of these are on the core. They're all fine. They should be all good. Is there only 3? I thought there's 4. Oh no, there's 4 objects, 3 callbacks. Okay, yep. So then up here in the callbacks, which is, no, I went too far already. Or did I? Where the hell are these callbacks? Okay, whatever. Right, so now we can pass this way. The whole point of this is so we can get to that startup signal that we started doing on Thursday. Right, we were using an an atomic reference counter. The problem was I had to get too much data into this function. But now this is a better setup in general because we have just the core object and the core object knows about the account manager. So we can just pass that in and it's fine, right? So then when we want to do that startup signal, we can then also do the atomic pointer here, or the atomic reference count here, and we'll be fine. Right, so it's a little step right now, but we're building towards more. All right, we're gonna do a clean build too before we post a pull request. All right, Ninja Turtle. Keep trying to run this by default. All right. Oh shit! Everything worked. Yeah. Contact manager loaded 13 contacts. People didn't get saved because that's not done yet. Also, I'm like, oh, I got your password, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it doesn't even show it on this one because it doesn't need to. But if you caught this, oh, look, it's, oh, my password, it's all stars. If you type your password into Twitch chat, it'll show up as all stars too. Don't do that. That is a joke. It will not show as all stars. When I change it from Hunter 2, now it's Hunter 3. Actually, sorry, it's a Hunter 2026 spring. Okay, it's not really spring yet, but or actually, I know a lot of people that do that too, right? So you'd get the 90-day password reset thing at work, right? So it'd be like some word this season or the year, and then like the season. So it'd be 1 for winter, 2 for spring, 3 for fall. I missed summer in there, but whatever, you know what I mean? And then when I was a kid to someone, and someone actually gave you the password in RuneScape. Oh, no. You were a hacker. Well, social engineer. I was being facetious, and I'm like, wait, no, social engineering is a legit hacker skill. There we go. I'm like, capability? That's not the right word. got a bit bigger than expected. I only moved a... Cool. That's great. Last giant cracker. Oh, I think his crackers are actually from Thanksgiving too. They're like 4 months old. They've been in a bag. It's fine. They're not stale. They're old, like me. This song has lyrics. So does this one. Called into turtles. They keep calling me. Okay. Mostly just rearranging, so not too bad. But for any manager file, we need to make sure that we deleted the default manager for certain. Where do we get that as model thing from? I don't remember. Maybe. I hate that that manual scans your whole thing every time, and it takes fucking ever. Like, it's generally not a big deal because I usually leave it running all the time, but man, it's really annoying. Oh, did we get the presence manager shutdown function? No. What does main int argc cars dash argv argc and argv do? That's the command line arguments to the program. How's it going, sweet car? Right, so like if you type like ls-l, argc will be set to 1. No, it'll be 2. And then argv at index 0 will be the name of your program, and argv at index 1 will be the -l. I had all my charcuterie stuff. I didn't grab my granola bar wrappers. Whoops. I eat like an adult. I'm sure you. I do have cuties in the fridge too. I could go eat those. Eat like a little kid. Well, that's probably wrong. What do I do? Command, do credential, file transfer, idle, notification, protocol, whiteboard. Okay, looks like we got all the shutdowns now. Sorry, I'm helping somebody troubleshoot something. Capital T, right? Yeah. I really wish that was the default too. Totally typo that. Amend. Was it 44, 49? So it's used in file handling and used to create. No, so any program on the command line that takes an argument, right? So like right here, I just typed RBT post minus R 449, right? So argc will be 5, right? Argv at index 0 will be RBT. Argv at index 1 will be post. Index 2 will be -R, and index 3 will be 4449, right? And that's how you get that input into your program. That's how you read it, right? So it's the same. Well, I don't want to do it through Python, but like Python has something similar. Python 3 minus C import sys print sys dot. Right? Oh, it's weird. I don't know why it only gave me the -C. Oh, right. Wait, really? I'm very confused. Why didn't it give me the rest? But whatever. That's how you do it, right? Something has been killing the battery in my phone. And I don't know what it is. I need to look at that. My phone's down to 20%. Like, this didn't used to happen. We just updated. Okay, yep. Rewards nice about the outdents and shit like that, so that's cool. 2 things that kill your battery: failed uploads in Slack or sharing your location. There's like something built in to check what's eating your battery, right? Oh, maybe someone's trying to hacker me and they're sending a file to me that I can't read. Like a Mr. Robot. Whatever, I'll look later. Like, I'm on Pixel, not that should matter, but I searched in the thing for, like, where battery usage where? In settings or somewhere else? Like, where the hell's the settings gear? Oh, battery usage. There we go. System apps, 38%. Next top offender is Antenna Pod, which shouldn't be that much either. At 13%. Google Fi at 12%, because I'm still on Fi for some reason. So the system is just fucking me. But we will reboot, and maybe it will get unfucked. Um... Quickly check it on your phone. Yeah, no, I found it. I haven't rebooted my phone in a while, so that might be part of the problem. Seems topical. Have I tried the unified push stuff? Not yet. I need to look at it more for a bunch of stuff. Number one, for Pidgin in general. Especially if we're ever talking about Pidgin on mobile. But I haven't spent much time looking at it, no. Like, I'm aware, and I always forget the name whenever I'm trying to look it up. But yeah. But it's Daniel Gausch or something. Something like that's his name. He's the guy that runs Conversations, the XMPP Android client and service. So he just did a talk about it too. It was it Fosdem? Might have been Fosdem. You saw the Fostum talk? Ah, yeah, I haven't watched the talk yet. I'm assuming the talk was good. If it got you thinking about it. I was just looking to set up XMPP, so you're getting familiar with these names. Gotcha. Yeah, I need to spend some time working on the server that runs Pidgin.im and imfreedom.org's XMPP. And I'm going to make some people very unhappy when I tell them we're shutting down pidginchat.com, because that's coming. Like, it's very clear I do not have the time to do anything with any of that. So, yeah. That, we've got like people that are like exploiting its use and shit too. I found a Reddit post, or maybe it was a YouTube video, I don't remember. It might have just been a blog. Someone's like, I set up a Signal alternative in 5 minutes using pidginchat.com. And I was just like, well, that explains where all these random signups were coming from. Like, the point of the service was to give people an XMPP server so they could come and talk to us. And people just use it to just talk to people they directly know. And it's like, there's a million services for this. And like, go use them. Stop. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. Okay, overall, I think the rest of this is probably fine. We didn't have anything else staged here, right? Yeah. Should be fine. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that we put all this in here, but the point is the next pull request is going to grab the rest of this. All right, publish. All right, that said, it's coming up on midnight. Like I said, I got to get up early, so I am going to get the hell out of here. The question is, where are we gonna go raid? Yeah, have a good one, Jason. Catch you later. Did we raid Zed on Thursday? Like, we can raid him again, it's fine. I think we did, but whatever. We'll do it again. Alright, we're gonna get out of here. So we're gonna go raid Mr. Zedishaw. You're not gonna federate and not allow open signups to start with. Use a little counter to the spirit, which I agree with. I want to deal with abuse, especially. Yeah, right. That's the big concern, right? The whole reason Pigeon Chat doesn't federate was to avoid abuse. But if people are using it to just talk to each other in encrypted, secure ways, number one, I can't do anything about that except shut down the service. But you know, it's weird and it's shitty, but it is what it is. But anyways, we're gonna go raid Zed. If you don't want to join the raid, you can go ahead and hit cancel above the chat. YouTube, I don't think he's dual streaming, but here's a link for you as well. In the meantime, thank you everybody for coming by tonight. You can find links to all my social media right over here. I do announce on my Mastodon when I'm going to go live, so you can follow me there. Also, if you want to join us on the official Pigeon Zulip server, you can find that right over here as well. So, thank you everybody for coming by tonight, and until next time, adios.